Okay, walk with me. There is no enemy. There was never an enemy. And it was always the inner me. I got a long ass marker stick now. My girlfriend keeps bringing new markers. It's getting long. When it gets that long, it's hard to control. So I'm gonna use my hands. The marker stick lived a long life, but it's so hard to control. So there was never an enemy. It was always an inner me. And I'm gonna give you everyday examples to how I was blaming the enemy instead of looking at the inner me. Starting with it, the enemy is not social media. Maybe I do need the marker stick, honestly, but a short one, like just two markers. The enemy was not social media. So you have a high screen time or whatever, even including video games. It's not that you're not doing things because you're on social media. The reason you're on social media is because you want to be comfortable. And you're comfortable when your brain is busy on social media. So that test that you have to study for makes you feel uncomfortable. Maybe because it's not new material or you get mental fatigue, whatever. You want to be comfortable. You want to be familiar. What's familiar to you? Social media, junk food, video games, spending time with your friends. These are all good things. Nice pastimes, ways to express yourself, to have fun, to give yourself a treat, to connect with other people. These are all positive things. The problem is you're blaming these, you're considering these the enemy, and then you think your life's going to change. But this is what needs to be realized, understood, and then changed. Okay, so the inner you wants comfort. All of these provide comfort. The inner you wants what's familiar. Well, the inner me. I'm talking about the inner me. Sorry. The inner me wanted comfort. All of these were comfortable for me. I felt safe in these environments. I felt familiar in these environments. I didn't have to stress about being judged in these environments. I couldn't fail. You can't fail in a familiar environment because you already know your way around it. You can autopilot it. You don't have to meet new people, have anxiety. You don't have to learn new skills. Right? It's certain. I'm in control. There's no chaos to grasp. Right? But the uncertainty is where you level up. New people, new connections, new skills, new hobbies, new experiences, new jobs, new pursuits, all those things. You're scared of failure. It keeps you safe. The uncertainty, avoiding the uncertainty keeps you safe, but it kept me small. So I thought, maybe I just have to delete social media. Maybe I just never have to play video games again. But then I just spent more time with friends. I just spent more time binge eating. I just spent more time still doing things that avoids the uncertainty. Okay, so this is one everyday example of this is not the enemy. I just needed to look at the inner me. Okay, now, this one I wish I knew many years before, but there's no shame in the fact that I didn't know it. But the enemy is not what was said. So someone can tell you blah, blah, blah. If you use your left foot there, you would have scored, right? Or if you studied, you would have done better on the test. Or if you put in more effort, you would have got the result that you wanted. Or you would have been closer to getting the result that you wanted. The enemy is not what was done to you. Now, I'm not the best artist. I didn't have a lot of room there, so I didn't put a picture in. But the enemy was not someone going behind your back. The enemy was not someone keeping their words up. The enemy was not someone fouling you in a sports game. Whatever was done to you. The enemy is not your emotions, not even how you feel about these things is not even the enemy either. So you can feel sad that someone did something to you. You can feel angry that someone did something to you. That's not the enemy either. But the inner me has something going on, which is the ego reacting. And it's reacting for validation. You have to remember that validation is short term. So you're going to say something that you might not even mean. Like I just wrote GTFO, like get the F out of here, because I don't have a lot of room. But you make a snarky comment back at someone. Well, yeah, that's why this happened to you. You try to belittle someone quickly to save yourself, to get back into the light. Because remember, the ego works off of validation. The ego is a false identity that needs to be kept intact. So you're going to think like, oh yeah, they think I'm tough. They think I'm cool. And you're going to tell someone, boom, back at you. Right? And they could have just been giving you constructive criticism. Or something that was done to you that hurt you. It could have been the best move on that person's chessboard and you don't even know. But your ego won't think about that because it only thinks about this. Right? So in your head, in my head, I'm selling long-term respect for short validation, for short-term validation. And in my head, it looks like they think I'm tougher because I said that. They think I'm funnier. They think I'm smarter. I saved my rep. I saved my image. That's what the ego wants. but at the cost of long-term relationships, employment, anything, right? Because in reality, people might not say it to you, but they're thinking, he's so rude, he's inconsiderate, he can't control his emotions, he's a grown man, he's snapping back at someone giving him constructive criticism, he's not taking criticism well, they're just trying to help him, right? The ego doesn't think that anyone's ever trying to help you. It's because it's an act. So it always feels like it's being judged. When you go on stage for a play, you're being judged. American Idol, you're being judged. American Got Talent, you're on stage. The ego is a performance. So the problem was never a person or a thing or a place that may have caused you to feel a certain way. Because you don't kill the ego, you just learn from it. Let it feel how it feels and then understand why it feels that way. But you don't sell long-term respect for short-term validation, because it messes up your relationships and your opportunities, and it will cause you to isolate more and more. Take it, I'm making this video for a reason. So remember, no one thinks you're tougher, no one thinks you're funnier, no one thinks you're smarter, and there's nothing that you saved. But all you did was just reveal to the world that you can't control your emotions and you're inconsiderate about other people, because the inner you is so fixated on an ego that needs reaction to save its image. People are just people. Everyone's doing what's best on their chessboard. You can't think there's an enemy at play. There's only an inner me. My final everyday example is that the enemy is not my studies. When I'm in school and I have a test coming up and I got a lot of homework all at once and it's very drowning, mentally fatiguing. It's not my tasks. It's not that I have to go to the gym, get into the gym, consistently be in the gym. It's not, I didn't know what to draw for work. Nobody liked work. So it's not that I have to go to work, and it's not that I have to do things at work. Okay? It's not that I have to go out there and meet new people and someone telling me, oh, go interact. Go introduce yourself to her. You said she's pretty good. And I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? Oh, I didn't say all that. I didn't say I'm looking for a girl. I'm just saying, damn, she bad, right? None of that. So the enemy is not someone telling me to go introduce someone to that. The enemy is not the gym. The enemy is not work. The enemy is not my studies. The enemy is not anybody enforcing any of these things. But the inner me has a quiet voice, a self-doubting voice that intellectualizes itself, makes itself sound logical and protective. So it sounds logical in a way of like, oh, what you did is enough. It's better than nothing. Some people don't even get that far. Don't overdo it. If you study too much, you won't even remember because your brain will be so tired. These are all examples. If you work too hard, you won't have any time to spend the money, right? Or what if you fail? You're going to get hurt. Your reputation could be damaged. What if she laughs at you? What if it's embarrassing? There's a whole bunch of things that the inner you, the brain, is sounding logical and it's sounding like it's trying to protect you. And at the end of the day, it's keeping you safe. Right? Can I write this down? At the end of the day, man, it's keeping you safe. But it's keeping, and it kept me small. Now you see, there's a common denominator here, a common pattern here, and that's that the inner you is logical, the inner you is quiet, it's subtle, and the inner you is optimizing for comfort. So your brain is telling you, don't overwork. You're hearing a quiet voice saying, it's okay, you did enough. It's okay to miss a day, to miss 2 days. You're choosing, I hope you understand that this is a couch. You can relax and play video games at the same time, so you can still do something. You can relax at your friend's house because you're so familiar, you can just go there and go on your phone. Okay? So I want you to remember something. While you're choosing to blame screen time, social media, this person, that place, your job, your school, for whatever's going on in your life, you're not looking inside. I want you to understand that the ball needs to be in our hands in order for us to score. And accountability is what puts the ball in our hands. So when blame stops shifting outwards, I'm only doing bad because of this, him, that means you can only do good if him, this, or that, or her. Why would you put that in somebody else's court? But you take the ball, now it's in your hands, my hands, we can score. Okay, so we need to be accountable. That's the first thing. Try to be accountable for everything in your life as much as possible, because it makes things easier, more in your control, right? Awareness allows us to see the defender, whatever is blocking us, the inner voice, majority of the time. Awareness allows us to see the inner voice, right? So awareness allows us, I don't want to do this because I might fail. Or this hurt my feelings because it's going to make people realize I'm not that good as I act, right? These are just examples. Awareness allows us to see that. And now that we see it, we can plan. Okay, so I don't want to do this because it doesn't make me feel good. But there was a point in time where I didn't want to do that, but I did it anyway, and it really worked out for me. Okay, so now we can plan. Ask a buddy to help me go through this discomfort in the early stages, right? For example, I went to the gym with a partner for a few months before I felt comfortable going by myself, and now I go by myself. There's ways around things. You just need to take accountability first. Then you need to be aware. But this is most important, I'm not going to lie. You need to take action. Because you can write the roadmap down and then go about your life. Nothing will change, and then you'll be like, oh, this doesn't work. This absolutely works, but this puts everything together. Remember, to do something is an act. So you must take action. Okay? So now the ball's in my hands, right? I go on social media to keep my brain busy because I feel bad that I'm not being productive, and I'm not being productive because I'm scared to fail. I don't want to study for the test. I don't want to get mental fatigue, and I don't even care about this exam anyway. Whatever, you figure out what's going on. You make your plan. I'm going to study anyway because I'm going to get this good grade, because the faster I get good grades, the faster I can get out of school. And you take action. You go and you score, and you know how it feels when you score. My athletes, you know how it feels when you score. My players, you know how it feels when you bag a good girl. My musicians, you know how it feels when you do well up on that stage with the violin. Come on, man. Safety is not worth it if you're staying small. Take it from me. Be accountable, be aware, take action, and take care.